Alright, let's be real for a second. If you're looking for a fun car, and your budget is under $5,000, most people will tell you it's impossible. They'll say you need to spend $15K or more just to get something decent. But here's the thing, they're wrong. There are still cars out there that are cheap, reliable, and actually fun to drive. No, you're not getting a brand new GR86 or a Turbo Supra, but you don't need that to have a good time. Today, we're breaking down 5 fun, reliable cars under $5K that will make you smile every time you turn the key. And we're not just picking random junk either. These are cars you can daily drive, cars that won't bleed you dry in repairs, and cars that actually make you excited to drive to work or hit the back roads on a weekend. Whether you're a first-time car buyer, a broke college kid, or just a car enthusiast who wants a cheap project, this list is for you. Let's get straight into it. You already knew this was coming. The Miata is basically the cheat code to car enthusiasm. Need something cheap, Miata. Need something reliable, Miata. Need something fun enough to make a supercar owner second-guess their purchase. Yeah, still Miata. Specifically, let's talk about the NB generation 1999-2005. It's light rear-wheel drive and comes with a naturally aspirated 1.8L engine, making around 140 horsepower and 119 pound-foot of torque. On paper, those numbers don't look like much, but here's the thing, the Miata doesn't care about numbers. At about 2,300 pounds, it's more like driving a street-legal go-kart with a roof. Everything about this car feels dialed in. The steering is razor-sharp, the gearbox is smooth and satisfying, and the weight distribution makes it incredibly balanced in corners. It's the kind of car that teaches you how to be a better driver, because it rewards skill, not horsepower. Reliability. It's a Mazda. Keep up with oil changes, avoid neglect, and it'll just keep going. Plus, parts are everywhere and cheap, so maintenance won't drain your wallet. Then there's the aftermarket. Want to lower it? There are a dozen coilover options. Want more power? Turbo kits are easy to find. Want to turn it into a track weapon or drift build? People have done everything you can imagine to a Miata, which means you'll never run out of ideas for upgrades. You can still find a solid NB for under $5K if you're patient. Look for one with minimal rust and some maintenance history, and you're good to go. If the Miata is for the person who wants to carve corners, the Civic Si is for the person who wants to rev to the moon and back and sound amazing doing it. Honda nailed the formula here. And depending on what you find, you've got 2 awesome options, the EM1 from 1990 to 2000 and the EP3 from 2002 to 2005. The EM1 comes with the legendary B16A2 engine, making about 160 horsepower and 111 pound-foot of torque. It might not sound like much, but this thing screams all the way to 8,000 RPM, like it's auditioning for a touring car series. It's raw mechanical and gives you that old-school Honda feel that people still obsess over today. The EP3, on the other hand, brings the newer K20A3 engine to the table, 160 horsepower, and 142 pound-foot of torque, which gives it more mid-range punch and arguably better daily drivability. Plus, the K-Series is one of Honda's most reliable and tunable platforms ever. Want to swap in a Type R K20 easy? Want to boost it? The aftermarket has you covered. Both cars are front-wheel drive, both are lightweight, and both have that unmistakable Honda magic, where everything just feels right. The shifter snicks into gear like it's telepathic, the chassis feels planted, but playful, and you always feel connected to what the car is doing. And because it's a Civic, parts are everywhere, gas mileage is solid, and with basic maintenance, these things will run to 250,000 plus miles without breaking a sweat. That's why you still see so many of them on the road. But let's be real, the biggest reason to buy one is VTEC. You're just cruising around nice and civilized, and then you smash past 6,000 RPM, and it's like someone flipped a switch. The engine wakes up, the exhaust note goes wild, and suddenly you're laughing like an idiot because you're having that much fun. One thing to watch out for, they get stolen. A lot. Seriously, these cars are like catnip for thieves. So, if you pick one up, spend the extra cash on a steering wheel lock or a kill switch. It's cheaper than waking up to an empty driveway. This is one of those cars people seriously sleep on. Everyone drools over Supras and MR2s, but the 7th-gen Toyota Celica GT-S from 2000 to 2005 is a straight-up hidden gem that deserves way more love. It's got sharp angular styling that still looks modern today, and under the hood is something special. Toyota's high-revving 2ZZ-GE engine, the same engine Lotus thought was good enough to drop into the Elise. Yeah, that Lotus. The 2ZZ pumps out 180 horsepower and 133 pound-foot of torque, and it comes paired with a slick 6-speed manual. But here's the magic. Once you cross about 6,000 RPM, this engine transforms. The cam profile switches over, and suddenly, the Celica stops being a sensible Toyota and starts acting like a baby race car. Keep it in the power band, and it absolutely rips. Weighing in at around 2,500 pounds, it's light, nimble, and way more playful than people give it credit for. Plus, because it's a Toyota, it's still bulletproof reliable as long as you don't abuse it by skipping oil changes or living on the rev limiter 24/7. You can absolutely find these under $5K now, though the clean, unmolested GTS models are starting to creep up in price. But even a rough one can be brought back to life without draining your wallet because parts are still pretty easy to come by. Mod potential, surprisingly good. Bolt-ons wake it up. Suspension upgrades make it even sharper. And if you're ambitious, you can supercharge or turbocharge it. But honestly, you don't need to. Bone stock, this thing gives you that raw, high-revving driving experience that's getting harder to find in modern cars. Think of the Acura RSX as the grown-up version of the Civic Si, same DNA, same K-Series magic, but with a touch of refinement that makes it feel like it's got its life slightly more together. It's built on the same platform as the Civic, but the RSX manages to be practical, sporty, and a little bit classy all at once. The base model is the easiest to find under $5K. It comes with the K20A3, which makes about 160 horsepower and 141 pound-foot of torque, plenty for a fun daily. But if you get lucky, or don't mind a few extra miles on the odometer, you might stumble on a Type S in this price range. That's where things get interesting. The Type S bumps you up to 200 horsepower and 142 pound-foot of torque revs, all the way to 8,000 RPM, and feels way more alive when you push it. The beauty of the RSX is how versatile it is. The hatchback layout means you can throw a week's worth of groceries or a full set of wheels for track day in the back without breaking a sweat. Inside, it feels a bit more upscale than a Civic, with better seats and a cleaner design, making it the kind of car you can daily comfortably and still look forward to driving every single day. And because its Honda reliability is basically baked in. Change the oil, don't run it dry, and you're looking at 250,000 plus miles with minimal drama. Plus, if you ever want more power, the RSX's K-Series engine is practically begging you to mod it. Swap in a Type R head, go turbo, or keep it simple with bolt-ons. The aftermarket is massive. Stock, it's a blast. Modded, it's a weapon. Either way, it's one of the best blends of fun practicality and affordability you can buy for under $5K. All right, hear me out. The Lexus IS-300 might not scream lightweight sports car, but for under $5K, it's one of the biggest bargains you can get your hands on. Sure, it's heavier than everything else on this list, and yeah, it's technically more of a luxury sedan than a pure performance car. But that's exactly what makes it special. You get comfort, reliability, and serious driving fun all in one package. Pop the hood, and you're greeted by the legendary 2JZGE, the naturally aspirated little brother of the Supra's famous Turbo 2JZ. No turbos here, but honestly, it doesn't matter. Stock, it makes around 215 horsepower and 218 pound-foot of torque, all going to the rear wheels through either a 5-speed automatic or if you're lucky enough to find one, a 5-speed manual. And even in stock form, it's plenty to put a smile on your face. The IS-300 has this dual personality. It's smooth and refined when you're just commuting, but toss it into a corner and it wakes up. The chassis is surprisingly balanced, the steering is communicative, and it feels way sportier than a luxury sedan has any right to. Inside, you get a premium cabin for its era, supportive seats, clean design, and little touches like the chronograph-style gauge cluster that make it feel special. And let's not ignore the elephant in the room, modding potential. This thing is basically a blank canvas. Want to turn it into a VIP-style cruiser? Easy. Want to build a drift car? Tons of aftermarket support. Want to slap on a turbo and chase big power? The 2JZ can handle it with the right setup. That's why so many enthusiasts love this car. It can be whatever you want it to be. For under $5K, you're getting a reliable rear-wheel drive sedan with a legendary engine and endless potential. That's a win, no matter how you look at it. So there you have it. 5 fun, reliable cars you can still find under $5K. Sure, you're not getting the fastest car in the world, but that's not the point. These cars prove you don't need a fat wallet to have a good time behind the wheel. Which one would you pick? Are you going for the classic Miata experience, screaming VTEC in a Civic Si, or maybe rolling around in an IS-300 plotting your future turbo build? Drop your choice in the comments below, and let's see which one comes out on top. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more content on affordable cars that punch way above their weight. Trust me, we've got some wild stuff coming up next. Until then, keep it cheap, keep it fun, and I'll catch you in the next one.